Hello and welcome to the Casual Dex. I'm your host Dex, and today's video is going to be an Ask Me Anything episode where I'll be going over some of the questions you've all had about myself and my channel. Over the last few weeks, I've been collecting questions through mostly Discord and Instagram that you've all been asking and figured it'd be a good time to properly introduce myself. If you've seen some of my videos before, I appreciate your ongoing support, and if this is the first time you've ever seen my channel, welcome. Thank you for giving my channel your time, and I do hope you consider subscribing by the end of the video, or follow my Instagram so you can be alerted for when my videos go live. It helps the channel a lot more than you'd think, and I'm always happy to have more people to interact with. Over this video, I'll be doing my best to answer your questions without totally getting overboard on the details, because magic does happen to be a topic that I seem to never have enough words to properly express my passion for the game and the community around it. To start things off, I'll answer the number one question that I've been getting from all of you, and it's, you guys want gameplay, and I would be happy to oblige. Currently, my work schedule does prevent me from a lot of my free time. I work 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, with the occasional Saturday rotation. So a lot of my free time to be able to actually play, edit, record, or do any of that kind of stuff, or even just keep up with my own personal things around the house, it all kind of gets packed into the weekends, which typically ends up with me recording all of my audio one day, and then editing and uploading and doing everything about the video the next. And so with that being a bit of a time crunch, it does kind of take up a very large portion of my time, which has eventually just kind of led to not getting a lot of time to be able to actually play. In turn, of course, not as much time to be able to get to play. I obviously can't really record gameplay all that much, but hopefully coming up here pretty soon, I'll be able to get some more time in, be able to get up a couple of games played, getting a pod together, and I promise I will absolutely be putting gameplay up on this channel. It's gonna happen. I just need to be able to figure out when to be able to do it, and when I can have a group of people capable of making that happen with me, because I need more than me to be able to make a video for gameplay. But anyways, to start things off, going into the rest of these questions, they're not going to be in any order in particular, and I will be reading them off of my phone. So let's get into it. The first question here is, what guild would you be in? That's going to be Golgari. Something about green and black being mixed together doesn't make sense, but it does all at the same time. Just the big rampy nature, the big scary creatures that you get with green. You throw in a little bit of just kind of the death and I guess benefits from things passing. Is just really cool to be able to have cards where it's just like a fallen soldier or a fallen creature with just some new form of life sprouting from it, whether it's like saproling tokens or just what have it. It's just kind of the life after death kind of thing. It's really cool. I love the story. I love the tribe. I love the sets that support Golgari. There's a lot of really cool cards, and it also kind of helps that the first commander I ever actually built was Golgari with Griswold the Dreadsower. So it's just realistically always had a very close tie to me when it comes to Magic the Gathering as a game. Next question here is going to be, what is your favorite commander? That's easy. It's Verena Lich Queen. It is Esper, 1 blue, white, black. It's the first Dex tech that I ever actually did, and it's my favorite deck that I have. I love playing it, everything about it. I do wish they did a little bit different with her art. I do unfortunately have the opinion where she looks a little bit more like a cyborg to me than really a Lich Queen or leader of zombies. But it is what it is. I don't get to make the art. I get to buy the product and play the cards and be happy about it, but I'm still going to express that I wish that they did something a little bit differently with the art itself. But Verena the Lich Queen, drawing cards, gaining life off of zombies attacking. I love zombies, always have. Movies, video games, just a bunch of different stuff. Just zombies in general have always been a very exciting thing for me. So having a deck that is able to play around them all completely it's a lot of fun. And until I run into a better zombie commander, it's definitely going to be Verena. Let's see. What is your favorite card? That's going to be Flusterstorm. Lately, on the games that I have been playing, it has been a little bit more stack intensive. And as you get more involved with the stack and how different things interact and when things trigger, people tend to get a little argumentative sometimes here and there. And even just situationally being just an overall really, really good card when you're countering literally everything that's on the stack, it's honestly just a good argument under. If people can't sort things out and get things figured out or come to a mutual agreement, you just cast a Flusterstorm, and now no one has to worry about it until after the game, and then things can just continue moving forward. They can continue with their discussion later. So yeah, Flusterstorm's definitely one of my favorite cards right now. What deck do you love to play but never get to? It used to be Griswold. Griswold the Dreadsaur being the first deck that I ever built was absolutely terrible. It did not play to any expectations past what you would expect from someone that's building for the first time without a full understanding of what they were doing. Since rebuilding the Griswold deck, obviously, I've been playing it a lot more. That's the most recent Dex Tech video that I've done, and I absolutely love being able to play the deck again. It's Golgari, it's the Troll Shaman, Trample, getting +1/+1 counters on token creature deaths in general is just super absurd, so it gets out of hand very quickly, and it is a very, very fun commander to play. Currently, the deck that I do wish that I got to play a little bit more, though, it's Najeela the Blade Blossom. It's another Dex tech that I did, and it immediately got quite a few complaints. I guess a lot of people don't really like when you go infinite combat steps between turns 3 to 5, so the deck did get taken apart. I did ramp it up with some proxies towards the CEDH side of things. Hopefully, I'll be able to play Najeela a little bit there in an environment where people are okay with that kind of play style, and just be able to get better at the game. Just kind of learning how things go at that kind of power level, and be able to just be a better builder and a better player overall. Just while getting to play a deck that most people don't want to play against. Let's see. What is your favorite flavor text? That's going to be off of Army of the Damned. I'm going to read the text just right off my phone so I don't read it wrong, but it's sometimes death comes knocking, sometimes it tears down the walls. There's just something about that text, just it screams zombies. The card is zombies. It's very expensive mana cost for it, but it's 13 zombies. And just I don't know, something about having that flavor text matched up with the art on that card. It just kind of enables my brain to just kind of imagine just the sound of the boards getting pulled back, or just the creaking of the wood while the zombies are trying to tear their way through, and just that sudden just blast where the wood just gives in and the swarm floods into the room. Just having that kind of imaginative ability when it comes to a card and reading that kind of flavor text just really brings everything together there when it comes to a zombie fanatic like myself. Let's see. What is your favorite set? That's going to end up being either between Ravnica or Zendikar. I was very, very excited for the Zendikar Rising announcement. I fully planned on buying a set booster. I was so excited to hear about the announcement of those boxes and the box toppers coming with all of them. Landfall is a lot of fun. I really, really was looking forward to being able to get my hands on a box, but gotta prioritize life and the bills first, so I unfortunately won't be able to participate. But I have been watching a lot of people on YouTube opening boxes, and quite a few other friends over Discord and that kind of thing, or Instagram. So at least I get to participate with the festivities that way. But the Zendikar set, as well as the Ravnica, it's definitely a bit of a toss-up for me when it comes to which one would be the preferred for me. Because Ravnica, of course, does house the Golgari tribe very well. So everything from that's going to be a good time. And Shocklands is... Who doesn't like opening Shocklands, really? But yeah, Ravnica or Zendikar. Definitely two of my favorite sets there. Haven't been able to open up very much from either of them, and I've actually never been able to open anything from the original Zendikar, but hopefully someday, life will change, and I'll be able to open up some of those older products that happened before I was introduced to the game. Let's see the next question here. What is your favorite card art? We kind of touched on this a little bit. It's going to be Army of the Damned. The zombies is, I can visualize it, I can hear it. The flavor text, just everything about the card other than how much it costs on the mana is just amazing to me. And I really hope that in the future they'll go back and do a little bit of a touch up for the Army of the Damned artwork. It's a little older. It's got some grainy texture to it, but seeing just that nice, just shiny new art style that Wizards of the Coast has been using recently would be really cool to see. Just a full high definition horde of zombies just ripping through that wall. Let's see. What decks do you currently have? I've got Verena the Lich Queen. I've got Drismal the Dreadsower. I've got Rada, Heart of Keld. Currently, I am working on a Nekazar the Mind Razor build, so keep an eye out for that, because that is going to be our next Dex Tex. It's going to be a rebuild that I'm doing for a coworker that actually introduced me to the game, but we'll approach that later, because I do know we have a question related to it. But I do also have a Siona Captain of the Pylis deck. It's a complete aura strat. I had a lot of fun building it. The deck itself does perform, but I just, for some reason, I think when I was building it, I had different expectations for what it was going to be like playing. And it's just, I guess it's just not really a play style that I'm super into. Even when it wins, it's not super interesting or entertaining for me. And people tend to be a little bored by aura strats, I guess. And so a lot of people playing against it don't really enjoy it all that much. And so I have it. I play it every now and then, but it's not a go-to by any means. It's kind of like one of my extra decks that I just haven't taken apart. Let's see. What is your pet card? That is going to be Phyrexian Altar. If you've watched a couple of my Dex Tex videos, you will see if I have a way to put it into the deck where it makes sense, I'm going to. Just the art from any edition of Phyrexian Altar is really cool to me. Just the sack outlet kind of nature to it. It's all around a really good card. I like it a lot. And it just enables so much. There's so many things you can do with a sack outlet that gives you a colored mana, even if it's restricted to black. Let's see here. What's the next question we're going to look into is, what is your favorite color or color combination? If we're going mono-colored, I'm probably going to go for mono green. If we're going for two-colored, I'm going to go with Golgari. If we're going with three-color, I'm going to go with Esper, most likely. I've yet to experience four-colored decks, but I imagine they're probably just as fun as a five-color deck, and I absolutely love playing five-color as well. But overall, favorite color combination's probably going to be Golgari there. Let's see, what other games or favorite games do you like to play? I do play a couple of other games other than just Magic the Gathering. This channel is completely dedicated to Magic the Gathering, and I don't have any other channels. But I do play a lot of Destiny with my wife. We absolutely love that game. We play a lot of Monster Hunter World as well. It's just two really fun games that we've taken some extended breaks from, reapproached, and got back into. And it's just always a good time to be able to just kind of sit back on some free time and just kill some monsters or go shoot some aliens together. It's a good time. And then if I'm playing video games by myself or like with my brother, I'll play like Call of Duty or something, just something to kind of turn the brain off and just kind of mess around and just kind of hang out a bit, I guess. Just sometimes you want to turn the brain off and just kind of autopilot. And Call of Duty is one of those games where you don't have to think, you just kind of run and shoot, and sometimes you do great, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you run into cheaters or people you suspect of cheating, which every time I lose, it's because the other people are cheating because I'm obviously the best player in the world. Let's see. Next question here, if I don't lose my place anymore. We've got, what or how did you get into Magic and who got you into it? So we'll reapproach that one now. I was introduced to the game by a coworker. Um, he introduced me to the game with a very nice Nekuzar the Mindraiser build. And I went out and he brought me to a game store where we picked up some starter decks. And I believe the next day I went and bought the Amanatu, the Fate Shifter Precon, and I decided that we were going to play Commander. And he brought Nekazar to the table, and I brought zero experience and an Esper Blink deck at a Precon level. And I got it. I got clapped several times. I was trying to learn what the hell generic mana meant while he was making me draw 30 cards and discard 40 and take all of my damage at the same time. It was a very frustrating experience, but the build that I'm working on to kind of enhance on his Nekuzar build is definitely no more friendly than how he introduced me to the game. But it's been fun to kind of reapproach and kind of go through some of those old memories of just how I was introduced to the game. It was right after War of the Spark came out, and I've been horribly addicted to the game ever since, and just all of my free time is spent just kind of researching the game, different mechanics, watching other content creators, and just I don't know. I'm a person that when I get into something, I really dive in, but it's usually short lived. I'll go 130% until I burn myself out, and Magic's just one of those things that just I haven't hit my limit with, and I hope I never do. It's a game that I very much enjoy, and I've always enjoyed every minute of it ever since I was introduced to it. All the way to the beginning where I was getting slapped around by Nekazar, or his Sahili deck, all the way up to current where I'm building my own and making my own videos. It's been quite the journey, and I'm happy that I have never not felt like I am learning something new with every experience that I have, be it meeting a new person, playing a new deck, finding new cards, or just finding a new channel. It's just everything about Magic the Gathering and the community around it is it's been fantastic, and I'm happy to be able to be a part of it. And it's all thanks to that coworker. If he hadn't introduced me to this game, I probably would have never looked into it. I hadn't really heard much about it until he had introduced me, and yeah, it really brought some new information and some new potential to my life. And it's I've been very grateful that he introduced me to it and gave me my start, even if it was with friggin' Nekuzar. But let's see, next question before I get too sentimental and he dislikes the video because I start talking about him too much. Let's see. Favorite movie and why? I'm going to jump right into that and say it's Treasure Planet. That is a game, I'm kind of dating, or I guess aging myself here. I watched that VHS tape until it stopped playing. I loved that movie. Everything about it, the morph, the antagonists, the story, the main character, just everything about Treasure Planet. If you have not seen it and you have access to or a way to, go watch it. It's such a good movie, and there really isn't an age limit to it being entertaining. It's just fun. It's a fun old Disney movie. I guess not necessarily all that old. I'm 26, but I did watch it as a kid, so I guess it's kind of depending on who's watching or listening that can decide over if it's old or not. But yeah, Treasure Planet, and if they ever did a remake, I need everyone on this planet to come together and ensure that Tom Holland plays Jim Hawkins, because oh my god, he looks exactly like him. It's literally a live action Jim Hawkins as Tom Holland, and it has to happen. If they ever remake it and they don't cast him, I might be hesitant to watching it. I'm probably still going to because it's friggin' Treasure Planet, but Tom Holland, he needs to play Jim Hawkins there. Let's see. Next question we're gonna look into is how long have you been nerdy? Um, Really, I guess I'd say all my life. I've always been a little bit kind of off compared to, I guess, most people, or I guess just kind of what I'm interested in or how I convey those interests. I guess just kind of my talkative nature can get to a bit of an extreme. As I'd mentioned, once I do decide that I want to learn something or do something, I do fully dedicate myself to it. And so, tech, um, video editing, obviously, every video that I make, I do try to improve on it or find ways to do it better for the next time. And it's just it's been a good time so far. Just going through just kind of that journey of self discovery. It's probably around my junior senior year of high school, after meeting my who is now my wife. She really opened me up to the world of just kind of accepting who I am and kind of developing my own personality. And so that's kind of really when the nerdy nature fully fully came out, and now it's just no shame. I am who I am. I'm happy with who I am. I try to be as pleasant as possible for everyone around me and as helpful as I can to everyone when I can, of course. But yeah, the nerdy side is definitely it's definitely strong with this one here lately, especially when it comes to Magic. But the next question here we're going to get into is what drew you into Magic the Gathering or Commander, which or Commander is a bit of an add-on that I put into the question because it's specifically what I play with Magic. I have given Standard and Draft and a couple of the other formats an honest try. They just haven't really caught my attention as much as Commander has, but the art and the story and the lore, it's just the community as well, just fully enveloped me right from the start. That from the moment like I set my eyes on a couple of cards that I had opened up when I was going through the Amanatu precon, or those first couple of booster packs that I bought, just kind of imagining the sounds or kind of taking the flavor text and just kind of adding my own story to it, or looking into the art and just kind of imagining like what does this creature sound like, or what does this creature do, kind of thing. Like just kind of everything about that just like fully just grabbed my attention and has just held onto it with a death grip ever since. And it's just I've never really been dissatisfied with the game. It's everything about it, honestly. It's I love this game a lot. The community around it, just everything. And so I guess there's a lot of things that have drawn me to Magic the Gathering. Let's see. Got two more questions here before we go into a close. But I've got what made you start, or sorry, made you decide to start making YouTube videos? Um, I talk a lot about the things that I am interested in, or just kind of things in general. I get very talkative for the most part. I tend to babble a loop sometimes, or just get completely distracted or sidetracked to some very extreme levels from time to time. But from the point of getting introduced to the game, I have nonstop talked to my wife about the game, or other friends or other family, whether they're involved with the game or have zero idea what I'm talking about. I always end up finding myself talking about it. And eventually it got to a point where I had my wife and a couple of other friends just kind of recommend it, like, hey, just have you considered making videos on this? Like, you're obviously passionate about it. It's something that you enjoy. Is this something that you would want to do something with? And ever since then, is making videos has been a fantastic experience. I've met a lot of really cool people. The Standard player that I watched a lot, or sorry, watch a lot. That's kind of really showed me a lot about the game itself there. Was Always Bolt the Bird, my buddy that I met here through Always Bolt the Bird's Discord and channel itself, Sycorax Graveborn. Uh, Meeting him along the way has been fantastic. Just meeting a lot of really cool friends. Even more recently, I've been interacting with the Into the 99 podcast. Hopefully, I'll be doing some work with them here shortly, or having them onto my show as well. Just kind of figure something out to be able to interact and just kind of work together. There are a lot of really cool people that I've met along the way, and it's it's been fantastic. I really don't have any complaints about it. Taking something that I'm very clearly passionate about and being able to make a video out of what I'm doing, or just kind of producing something from that enjoyment and sharing it with the rest of the world, is just it's a really good opportunity. Even if it doesn't go anywhere for me, I'm perfectly happy just making something out of it and being happy with I did something with this. I created something. I shared this with other people. And for the people that enjoy it, nothing brings more joy to my heart than seeing some people that are commenting or just kind of messaging me directly and just kind of talking about what they enjoyed, or mentioning something to improve on, just something that I've done better than I did in the last video. It's just everything all around the game, the content creation. It's been a really fun opportunity for me, and even if it absolutely goes nowhere, I'm still perfectly happy doing it. At minimum, when it comes down to it, if I'm looking around for work or an interview kind of asks me what I do with my free time, being able to show like, hey, I edit videos, I make content, I know how to edit, I know how to work with a lot of different software. Uh, Potentially that job might have some projects for me. It could be a lot of opportunities that are opened up that I'm developing the skills for, passively working on something that I really enjoy being able to be a part of. But before I get into that one way more than I need to and make this video go for another 20 minutes, let's get into the last one. What are your end game goals? Kind of ties into a bit of the why I have started making a YouTube channel. So I'll kind of touch up on a little bit of that. It's just making videos. It's a lot of fun. I mean, if obviously with anyone that's going to be uploading to YouTube, a lot of people are going to have the common goal of, I want to do this as a living for some, or living someday, and I honestly would not say no to that kind of opportunity. I would absolutely love to be able to just fully focus everything and all of my time into Magic the Gathering and the game and the community, and just kind of become a known name, potentially, or even just a person that people can come to and chat with, some questions about the game, how something works, or just being a channel or someone that people find entertaining in some way. I know sometimes I can be a little monotonous. I might have a little bit of an energy issue from time to time, but I do very much enjoy what I'm doing here. I just try to overly focus on the enunciation and make sure that I sound proper. My job currently that I work on phones, so speaking clearly and enunciating is very important to me, unless I'm contracting words, because you don't always have to enunciate everything perfectly. But yeah, end game goals. If I were to be able to get this channel to actually get somewhere where I would be able to just do this as a living, I would be so happy and appreciative to be able to have that kind of opportunity to just be at home, focus down on a game that I love, and do something that I enjoy very much, which is just making videos and content for other people to enjoy, or even just myself to go back and watch from time to time, or just share with some friends. Hopefully, in the future, I'll be doing some gameplay very soon, as well as potentially going into some series where I discuss different mechanics about the game, or even get down to the point of potentially doing a series where I teach people how to play Magic the Gathering as kind of a beginner-friendly tutorial. I think would be a lot of fun, just kind of all-around Magic the Gathering content here would be a very good goal for me to have, and I plan on doing this whether it gets anywhere or if it stays right where it's at. I've already well passed my expectations when it came to subscribers and the interaction that I've gotten and the people that I've met, and the people that I've met along the way have just been completely mind-blowing. It's been amazing, the people that I've been able to interact with and have had the opportunity to be able to speak with and even play a couple of games with. It's been great. I very much enjoy this game and everything about it, and the community. I appreciate it a lot. But anyways, here, I'm going to wrap the video up there. We're sitting at about half an hour, so it's a bit of a lengthy video, so I do appreciate it if you've made it this far. As I've mentioned in every video, I am your host, Dex, with the Casual Dex. It's been great to meet you. I'm happy that I've been able to give or been given the opportunity to introduce myself. I appreciate all of your questions, and I'll see you next time.